Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to jump into a little grammar adventure. Our mission, if you choose to accept it, is to master the magic of plural nouns and totally level up your English skills.
So, it all kicks off with this really simple question. When you see more than one of something, how do you actually talk about it? How do you go from talking about one cat to a whole room full of cats? Well, let's find out.
Okay, first things first. Let's get the lingo down. When we're talking about just one of anything, we call it a singular noun. Just think single. It's one person, one place, or one thing. Like, I had an apple for breakfast. See? Just one.
Now, when we have more than one, that's where the magic really starts to happen. We call this plural. So, instead of that one apple, you might see many juicy apples in the basket. More than one. That's really the whole idea here.
Are you ready to level up? Our little grammar game starts right now. Level 1 is the foundation. It's the most common rule you're going to see. This is the basic S rule.
And here it is. Seriously, for most words in English, all you have to do is just stick a little S on the end. That's it. It is the undisputed superstar of plural nouns. Look how simple this is. One cat becomes cats. A bag turns into bags. A horse becomes horses. And a garden becomes gardens. Just like that, you've already beaten level 1. See? Easy, right?
Okay, feeling good? Let's move on to the next level. This one's a little bit trickier, but it's super important. I like to call it the ES challenge.
So the secret to this level is all about sound. Just listen to how some words end. If they finish with a kind of hissing or a buzzing sound like S, sh, or X, well, trying to add another S would sound pretty weird, right? These words need a little extra help.
And that extra help? It comes from the letter E. We add ES instead of just S. That tiny extra syllable makes the new word so much easier to say and to hear. It's a game changer.
Let's see this in action. One bus becomes buses. A single glass becomes glasses. One bush becomes a whole lot of bushes. And one box turns into many boxes. And boom! You've just cracked the code for level 2. Excellent work. You are just flying through these levels. Now it's time for level 3, where we're going to tackle some of the trickier word endings. But don't you worry, once you see the pattern, it's actually pretty simple.
All right, here's our first tricky one, words that end in F or FE. Think of this as a special 3-step move. First, you spot that F or FE ending. Second, you swap it out for a V. And third, you just add an S like we did back in level 1.
Let's watch it happen. A single leaf on a tree becomes a pile of leaves in the fall. A baby cow, a calf, becomes calves. You hear that? The F sound kind of softens into a V sound. Pretty cool, right? Okay, our next tricky letter is the letter Y. Now for this rule, you have to be a detective and look at the letter right before the Y. If that letter is a consonant, basically any letter that isn't A, E, I, O, or U, then you've got a special mission. Drop that Y completely and add IES. So for example, one city becomes many cities. See how the T right before the Y is a consonant? That's why it changes. Same thing with baby. B is a consonant, so one baby becomes two babies. But hold on, there's a twist. What happens if the letter before the Y is a vowel, an A, E, I, O, or U? Well, in that case, you just forget the special rule. The Y gets to stay right where it is, and you just add an S like normal.
So a single ray of sunshine becomes many rays. A serving tray becomes a stack of trays. Why? Because the A is a vowel, so that Y doesn't go anywhere. Getting this detail right is what makes you a real grammar pro.
You've totally mastered the rules, but what about those words that just don't play by the rules at all? Well, welcome to the bonus level, the rule breakers. These are the absolute rebels of the English language. They're usually really old words that just decided, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing. You can't use your S or ES tricks on them. You just have to know them. Let's meet a few of these rebels, shall we? One man becomes two men. One child becomes a group of children. And one tiny little mouse becomes several mice. They just completely change their spelling. And now for the ultimate rebels. These are the words that are so cool they don't even bother changing. Their singular form and their plural form are exactly the same. For instance, you can see one sheep in a field, or a whole flock of sheep. The word itself doesn't change. It's the same for aircraft. You can have one aircraft or 10 aircraft. They just stay the same.
which I guess is kind of a rule in itself.
And that is it. You have cleared every single level, from the easy basics to the tricky endings, and you even faced the bonus rebels. So congratulations, you are officially a Plural Pro.
So let's do a super quick recap with this ultimate cheat sheet. For most nouns, just add s. For those hissing sounds, add es. If you see a consonant plus y, change it to ies. For words ending in f or fe, you're going to change that to ves. And for those rebels, well, you just have to remember their special forms.
You now have the complete code to understanding plural nouns. The secret is all yours. So here's one final challenge for you. Go out into your day and see how many of these rules you can spot in the real world. How many plural words can you find? Happy hunting!